Imagine this. You wake up one day and realize you'll never age, never die, and never say goodbye to the people you love. What if you could live forever? It sounds like a dream, right? But is it really? Stick around because today we're peeling back the layers of what immortality could mean for you, your loved ones, and the entire world. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into one of humanity's oldest dreams, immortality. From myths about the fountain of youth to cutting-edge research in anti-aging science, humans have always been obsessed with cheating death. But let's say we finally cracked the code. Science made it possible to live forever. What would that mean for the planet, for our relationships, and for our sense of purpose? Get comfy because we're unpacking everything: the logistical challenges, the emotional highs and lows, and the ethical dilemmas. By the end of this video, you'll be asking yourself, do I even want to live forever? First, let's talk numbers. Right now, Earth has over 8 billion people. If mortality became a thing of the past, what would happen to population growth? Here's how it works. The global birth rate is around 18.5 births per 1,000 people annually, while the death rate is around 7.6 per 1,000. Those numbers balance things out. But if we stop dying, boom, population growth would skyrocket. Without death, cities would expand endlessly. Housing, food, and water would become scarce. Let's be real, we're already seeing tensions over limited resources. Would an immortal world be a dystopian one? On the flip side, immortality might push humanity to innovate faster. Space colonization could go from science fiction to a necessity. Imagine living forever but on Mars. Would you sign up? Next, let's zoom in to the personal level. If you could live forever, what would you do with all that time? Would you finally write that book, learn 10 languages, or master every video game? Sounds amazing, right? But think about this. Would immortality really make you more ambitious or less? Right now, the fact that life is short pushes us to achieve our goals. Deadlines create urgency. But if you've got forever, why rush? It's possible that immortality could lead to a kind of existential laziness. If nothing's permanent, does anything really matter? Would you still feel that drive to leave a legacy? And here's another twist. Would relationships change? Part of what makes love and friendship so profound is their fragility. If you and your loved ones could live forever, would those bonds grow stronger? Or would they fade over time? Let's say scientists discover a way to make people immortal. Would it be available to everyone, or just the ultra-rich? Let's be honest. New technologies almost always start as luxuries for the wealthy. Imagine a world where billionaires live forever while the rest of us have expiration dates. Immortality could create a society where inequality becomes permanent. But even if immortality were free and universal, would it truly be fair? Would living forever stop new generations from being born? Would immortality cause cultural stagnation, where the same ideas, the same people, and the same power structures rule forever? And here's a chilling thought. What about ethics on a personal level? If you lived forever, would you risk becoming numb to loss, suffering, or even morality itself? Imagine a world where people outlive their empathy. Could our minds even handle eternity? Human happiness often comes from novelty, experiencing new things. But in an immortal life, could there eventually be nothing left to excite you? Would you get bored of existence itself? There's even a term for this: eternal fatigue. Philosophers like Bernard Williams argue that immortality might not make us happy. It might make us weary. After all, can you truly appreciate life if it never ends? Now let's talk about families. One of the most profound ways we experience life is through the passing of generations. Parents raise children, those children grow up, and the cycle continues. But what happens to family dynamics when no one dies? Imagine this: a family where grandparents, parents, and children all live forever. In one way, it sounds wonderful. You'd never have to say goodbye to your loved ones. Family reunions could become massive celebrations spanning centuries. But on the flip side, this could create tension. For example, if inheritance is no longer passed down because no one dies, would younger generations feel stuck in the shadow of their ancestors? Would they ever have the chance to truly take the reins of the family legacy? The idea of eternal families sounds heartwarming, but it could also lead to overcrowded homes, generational conflicts, and a lack of individuality. Right now, property and wealth are transferred from one generation to the next through wills and estates. It's part of the natural cycle of life and death. But what happens if no one dies? If you're immortal, your wealth doesn't need to be passed on. That might sound fine for the rich. After all, they keep their mansions, businesses, and investments forever. But for everyone else, This could create a massive concentration of power and resources. Imagine a world where billionaires never die and their wealth stays in the same hands for centuries. Would younger generations have a chance to build their own legacies? Or would they be locked out of opportunity by immortal dynasties? Right now, part of what drives parents is the desire to create a better world for their kids. If you could live forever, would you still feel the same urgency to leave something meaningful behind? So while immortality might solve one problem, the fear of death, it could create another. A world where inheritance and legacy stagnate. The idea of living forever might sound like science fiction, but let's talk about where we stand today. How close are we to unlocking the secret to immortality? Here's what we know. Aging is essentially the result of wear and tear on our bodies over time. At a cellular level, this is linked to things like DNA damage, telomere shortening, and oxidative stress. Scientists are now exploring ways to slow or even reverse these processes. Take telomeres, for example. They're the protective caps at the ends of our chromosomes, and they shorten every time a cell divides. When they get too short, cells stop dividing and age. Researchers are experimenting with ways to extend telomeres, potentially stopping the clock on aging. Then there's genetic editing. Tools like CRISPR could allow us to repair faulty genes associated with aging and disease. Some scientists even believe we could program our cells to regenerate indefinitely. And that's not all. Advances in artificial organs and prosthetics mean we might one day replace failing body parts like car parts. We're not just talking about living a few extra years. These advancements could eventually push human lifespans to 150, 200, or beyond. The question is, will we stop there or figure out how to live forever? While immortality might still be far off, let's not overlook the incredible strides we're making in extending life expectancy. In the past century alone, average lifespans have more than doubled in many parts of the world, thanks to vaccines, antibiotics, and better living standards. In 1900, the global average life expectancy was just 31 years. Today, it's over 72, and in countries with advanced healthcare systems, it's closer to 80 or 90. This isn't just about adding years to life, it's about adding quality years. And here's the big picture. The more we improve our health, the more time we buy for future breakthroughs. For example, anti-aging research could reach new heights in the next 50 years. If each generation lives a little longer, it's not unthinkable that one day, a generation will reach immortality. Would living forever be a dream or a trap? It forces us to confront what we value most about being alive. Is it the length of our time or the way we spend it? Would you choose to live forever? Or do you think life is meaningful because it's fleeting? If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to like and subscribe for more deep dives. Thanks for watching, and as always, stay curious. I'll see you next time.